So this is my 7-month-old collie. His name is Ollie, and he loves to play frisbee. So we've been practicing it a little bit. Sometimes you just need to take a few minutes, maybe take a morning off and play with the dogs. You ready, Ollie? Are you ready? Should we see? Go. All right. Good job, buddy. He's awesome. Should we try it one more time? One more time for my friends? Yeah, we'll try it one more time, okay? Are you ready? See if we can do it again. All right. Good job. Okay, guys, so here, of course, is my coriander. The coriander is just ready to go and be, ready to be taken right off and ground or saved, however. And then this is the sage. So I have way more sage than this, but just to show you, this is basically going to be dehydrated, taken off the stem, and left full, because sometimes what I do is I'll dress the turkey at Thanksgiving with sage. And then this is some of my runaway oregano patch. So once again, this will be thrown in the dehydrator as well. And we'll just strip it right off of the stem once it's dry. And then I usually just put it into a glass jar. I save all my jars and store it. That's it. Put it up in the cupboard and away it goes. So on to the next stuff that we've got in here. I'm looking in here and I'm seeing a lot of red peppers. Now I planted mini peppers in here too, and I think that they're ready. They will not get any bigger than this. It's kind of like a mini, oops, move the leaf out of the way, kind of like a miniature bell pepper. So we're just going to take this guy off, and at least I can show you what he looks like. I planted snackable bell peppers, so they're not going to get any bigger than really the palm of your hand. Still tastes sweet, still really great to put in whatever you want. But yeah, so, and they add up really quickly. So we've got a ton of little red bell peppers in here. So let's take some of them off here. Try and keep the camera steady so you can see what's going on here. A little hard to keep it on a stand if you're coming along with me in harvesting. There we go. Yeah, so they're just the little snackable peppers. This guy's even tinier. You've probably seen a version of this maybe in your store where it's just like little, they're not necessarily little bells, but they're probably about this big. And you probably get about 10 of them in a bag, and they're just little snackable peppers that, you just take along at a picnic or something. Let's take a look here. Kind of like that size. And then what I've had to do as well, since we're in the corner here, is I've had to string up my, these are blueberry tomatoes, and these are huge. Like, these vines themselves must be at least, you can't really see, kind of hard to tell, but they're probably about a good 4 feet. And I came in one morning and they just decided that they were going to start growing over the side of the lower, the lower bench here. So I had to just string them up because they're getting out of control. And now I'm noticing, I don't know if anybody else is noticing the change in the season, but I'm noticing it's starting to get a little cooler in the mornings. I can feel the season change already. So we're basically going to be harvesting as much as we can. And then, guys, what can we do? Just go from there. But as you can tell, if I can just find, if the blueberry tomatoes get enough sun, you'll actually see them start turning blue before they turn red. So it's kind of neat. You come in and you have blue tomatoes. So, and then they'll turn a nice little red color down here. So I'm going to finish harvesting the peppers and then move on down the line and see what else we have. See what else is going on. Moving on down the line, guys, I just took this off of some of the plants. So finally, after all this time, a lot of them are starting to redden up. But still, I'm the only one with peppers on my block. I'm proud of that. So, and I got this guy too. And now let's take a look. I'm gonna push through the hot peppers here and see what we have for tomatoes. Oh, and here's the sweetie tomato. I don't know if anybody's tried growing this, but it's like growing trees. It's crazy. This guy's growing right underneath my sunshade. It's going crazy here. So let's get to the big tomatoes first and see what I have. Oh yeah, man, if I can just get in here. Wow. Look at this, guys. This is actually bigger than my hand. This is awesome. Look how big that is. Wow. So these are the celebrity tomatoes. If anybody, if you want to try something new, it's my first year growing them, but beautiful, no blemishes, no bug damage. So yeah, give it a try, guys. It's awesome. They're really not fussy either. They're not hard to take care of. Okay, so that's the first one. Let's see what the other one looks like in here. And they really seem to like the back window here. Check out that guy. Now we've been eating tomatoes like crazy, so pretty soon what I'm going to be doing, I've got 150 tomato plants in the back 40 greenhouse that I've all taken, and I have 250 bean plants back there as well, and the rhubarb is going crazy too. So we'll be doing a lot of probably soups and stews to put away for the winter. I don't know about you guys, but I've started listening to the prices and the food shortages that are happening because we're using up all of our stores that we've had put away for emergencies. And so it looks like the fall is going to be a time where you're going to start seeing the food prices rise even more. So this is really pleasing to me to be able to grow things and be able to put them away. Not a bad score so far. Look at this, guys. This is the sweetie tomato. The vine is out of control, so I'll have to string this guy up too. But as you can see, the tomatoes start, reddening on these beautiful vines. It's like they're trees. So, I've got them all the way down here. Now, we've been picking the little ones, admittedly, all week because they're so intense for flavor. I'll let this guy redden up a little bit. Let's see. But these make amazing salads. And they named it right. It is sweetie. Like, it's very, very sweet. So it makes a really good tomato. We've been having tomato, lettuce, and feta salad with these. Look at all these back here. So once again, it's called sweetie. So give it a try. You'll need lots of room because it needs to be staked. But non-fussy, easy to grow. I had a couple people come in here and ask me what tomatoes these were, so they're going to give them a try next year. They're all in the back. I could be here forever picking these little tomatoes. So let me finish picking these, and then we'll move on down the line and take maybe a look at our cucumbers to see how they're doing this week. It's awesome. So guys, you can see the miniature cucumbers here. They're still doing awesome. Not slowing down at all. Take a look here. They're actually starting to grow out over the bottom edge. But we're gonna leave them. We're gonna probably get a few more jars of pickles out of these. But on this side of them, the celebrities are now starting to get bigger, and they're starting to ripen. So we'll have tons of tomatoes out of these too. Now, the funny part is I have to back up because if you look way up, look what my cucumbers are doing. Okay, that's probably 8 feet that I have to get up there and get this cucumber. And then I realized that I haven't been checking the tops, just where they're growing up there, because I discovered that they're now starting to lay up here and grow across on the boards. So, so in order for me to get these down, I actually have to get a ladder because they're so tall. So I'm going to say the cucumber plant is happy. You know, I've got 6 more cucumber plants in here. But like I said, in order for me to cut these down, and you can see there's 1, 2, I don't know, 3 or 4, oh gosh, 5, 6. I'll have to get a ladder to cut them down. I can't reach that high. But nice size cucumbers, like really, really awesome. I'm really happy with them this year. And guys, really sweet. Growing the cucumbers in the greenhouse, I don't know what it is, but they're absolutely sweet. So onward and upward, I have to get a ladder later. So my husband just came in and saved the day. So here we go. So this is the size of the cucumbers. Not bad. So we're going to be adding that to our bounty. Starting to get all the colors of the rainbow now. I'm loving the colors. And for all of my Brussels sprout people, so if you take a look, I've now trimmed, I'm going to move around here. I've completely trimmed up the Brussels sprouts. They're kind of taking on this weird archaic kind of look. The Brussels sprout plants are now 5 feet. But as you can see, what I've done is I've trimmed all the way up the plant, right? All you do is you just leave the very top leaves so that it can feed the plant. But as you can tell, when you get closer, the Brussels sprouts are now putting on some weight, starting to get bigger. Now I'll be harvesting these for a little bit, but do you see what happens when you trim the leaves off? All of a sudden they put on this incredible size. And they haven't been in here that long, so if you trim the leaves off, you will definitely get a harvest. Crazy. They don't even look natural. Okay, so we are at the bed in front of the Brussels sprouts, and I want you guys to tell me what's missing. There's something missing out of this bed. And remember, I was saying I was not sad that they were slowing down. So it's given me a lot more room. I've got some room now to grow more things in here and transplant. So that's what I'll be doing later on this week. What's missing from this bed? And here are my Mexican peppers, guys. Remember how small they were? I don't know, probably a couple of weeks ago. So you can see the size that these peppers have put on. Now, this is July 24th, so I'm going to say we already have, flowers starting to form. So we'll definitely get a crop out of these before the end of the fall. The beets are doing their own thing. I've committed right now to canning carrots, so I'm just going to let these stay in here and just get some. They'll just keep getting bigger and bigger and bigger, so they're going to stay in here. And then once I'm finished canning the gazillion carrots I have, then I'll come back out and probably pickle the beets. But they're looking pretty good. I mean, they're happy. Definitely noticing the weather change. So it's looking good in here. And of course, on this side, here are my other cucumber plants, which I'm probably going to regret. But they're starting to develop. As you can see the flowers up there. And then next to it are the purple beans. Which are starting to hang above my head. So we'll be harvesting these too. They're a little bit hard to see right now because the sun is starting to come in on this side, but we'll be taking those off. Okay, you know what? I'm gonna go outside and check out and see what's out there too. Let's go check out the bins outside and see what we can harvest. So guys, as you can tell, I just wanted to record this before the sun gets too crazy. The outside gardens are doing amazing. They're full, they're complete. I've had really no issues with them, and the tomatoes are even put on right now, so they're getting their weight. and I have a ton of beans that I have to go through and pick. So I'm gonna pick these and not put you through this because it's gonna take me a while. And then what we'll do is we'll tally up at the end. And right along, guys. So this is pretty much almost the first side of the bin here. So that's what we're gonna be doing, is just going around and finishing the harvesting of just the beans first. But you know something? I was just feeling like with the weather and the fact that it's cooled down and my crop is producing and everything, for once in the morning I don't have to fix anything or run around, and it's one of those mornings where it's really nice. You know, you can take time to reflect over the fact that you're just thankful for what you have, and you're just thankful to be alive and thankful that you've been blessed with the abundance that you have. And so just one of those mornings that I feel very grateful to have what we have, and I'm really enjoying it from that perspective and feeling very lucky. So it's nice sometimes to be out in the garden. It makes you reflect on things sometimes, that if you're at an 8-hour job all day long and you know you've got a million different things going on, that you don't get that time to stand back and reflect on what you're grateful for. So this morning I'm just feeling very grateful. Just wanted to share. Okay guys, so here is all the beans from one bin only. There's a ton of beans in here, and I grew a lot of purples just for interest, but this is only from one bed, and I have 3 more bins up here or raised beds up here that have bean plants in them, so you can only imagine how much beans I'm going to get off of those today. So I guess I know what I'm going to be doing in conjunction with canning the carrots. And also I just wanted to turn around here and show you the progress on the pepper bed. Remember how small all of these peppers were when I put them in here? They're doing amazing. Actually, a couple of them have peppers on them already. So this entire bed is full of sweet peppers and hot peppers. So let's cross our fingers and let's hope that we can get a nice crop out of these before the frost comes. I'm talking about frost already because, like I said, the weather here is unpredictable, so we'll see what happens. But I just wanted to show you that. On to the next bin. I grew these beans in the next bed over because I just thought that they just looked so cool. Sometimes they're called dragon's tongue or lotto beans, but I just wanted something for interest. So I have a whole bed of these along with the purple beans. So we're going to harvest. As you can see, they're all in here. Apologize for the noise in the back. We're putting up an outdoor wood furnace, or the beginnings of it anyway. You can see that this is all filled. So we're going to get to it, harvest it, and I'll show you the bounty when we're done. There's just an abundance of these ones, but they are beautiful. Guys, we are only at the second raised garden bed here. And I have about, of course, we have, you know, the odd strawberry still here and there, but we have almost 7 liters of beans. So I'm thinking what I'm going to do before I get ahead of myself is probably take this score in and can it, because if not, it's going to turn into another full day of canning for me if I don't stop now while I'm ahead. So we will stop here, 7 liters. And then we will continue our harvest, probably take a visit to the back 40 and see what's out there. But we're only on bin 2, and this is at 7 liters. Awesome. Just visiting the back 40 here. And I don't think you guys have been in here for a while, but you can see that everything is exploding. We got that 2 days of rain a couple days ago, and this is like a whole new garden for me. Everything in here is blossoming. I can even see a few new tomatoes down in here. We've got beautiful beets forming. Everything looks great. Well, the tomatoes over in here are growing tall too. So of course we're not ready, you know, at this point with this particular greenhouse to harvest, but you can tell just how many plants have taken in the raised beds. Now these raised beds, guys, I don't know if I told you this, but these taller ones here that I have my tomatoes in, they're about 3.5 feet, which means I never have to bend to pick anything out of these beds. Same with this one over here. These beds come up to my hip, so basically I'll never have to bend to harvest anything out of those. And I think that's important. I think that ergonomically sometimes, you know, growing your own garden can hurt your knees and your back, or you're standing for long periods of time. So I think that having, you know, raised beds that you don't necessarily have to bend over to pick anything is a good thing. But all of this is growing really great. And this bed here, look at how the beans are exploding, guys. Look at all the flowers. The beans are exploding back here. And take a look how big the rhubarb is. Look at the size of my rhubarb. Isn't that crazy? Gigantic rhubarb. It's funny because the other ones aren't that big. I mean, they're big, but not necessarily as big as that one. But I've got bean flowers everywhere, so we'll be doing a lot of canning of those, and thank goodness, because I don't know if you guys in your area have seen beans, corn, peas, all of those have gone up almost 50 cents in our area. So when I go into the grocery store, I'm seeing almost, you know, $1.97 to $2 a can for, you know, not, well, what is it, a half a cup of corn maybe in those tins. So I think we're going to be sort of going through our stores of what we have in terms of what we've had saved up, because now we've got all of these logistical issues happening with food. And I'm thinking, from what I'm seeing of the crops outside here, when we take a drive down the road, I'm going to say that the fall is going to be really hard and probably more expensive for food. So I hope all of you are somehow trying to freeze or dehydrate or whatever, put your food away as much as you can, because you're going to need it. So everything's doing wonderful back here, guys. I'm going to cut it short today just because it's so windy, and the wildfire smoke is starting to set in. So the air is becoming heavy and really not so pleasant to, look at my onions, not so pleasant to be out in. The wildfires have really struck us hard this year. I'm only about 2.5 hours away from one, so the smoke at times can become quite challenging to try and stay out and garden. This is another bean bed along with my blueberry tomatoes, but you can see I've got tons of blossoms. And this is without having the cover on it, because like I said, it was so hot. I think I would have been doing myself a disservice by putting the cover on it this year. So depending on what kind of year we have next year, it'll be going up for sure. So thanks very much, guys, for joining me today. I just want to say, first of all, to I think I have about 215 subscribers. And I want to say thank you so much for everybody who has subscribed to the channel. I'm trying to build the base up a little bit. Give me a thumbs up or send me a note if there's anything that you specifically want to know about. I am a certified crop science consultant. I'm not sure if I ever told you guys that, but I can answer questions if you have any. So spread the word. We garden here too in Canada. You know, zone 3 is a challenge, but we can definitely do it. And I just wanted to say I really appreciate everything. Thanks for sticking around, guys. And like I said, if there's any questions, please feel free to ask. See you soon.